This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here, joined by the great Shaquille O'Neal and the equally great Kenny the Jet Smith. Our featured matchup tonight in Chicago, where the Bulls will be going up against the Atlanta Hawks. Checking out Atlanta, this is a team they played pretty well against last season, going 3-1. They'll look to keep that edge tonight. The Atlanta Hawks in recent years, a new ownership group, a changeover in the front office, new players in key roles. How do you create continuity given all of those changes, Shaq?
Well, it's not an easy thing to do, but with our good friend Grant Hill, part of the ownership group, I think they've done a good job, all things considered.
Well, they have a consistent philosophy now. You know, a style of play. They draw and kick. They have ball movement, unselfishness. So you know how to trade better, you know how to draft better, and definitely know how to coach better.
Kevin Harlan is standing by as we approach tip-off.
Tell them sit down. Be humble. 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 Sit down.
We're broadcasting from Chicago as the Bulls get ready to take the hardwood here at the United Center. This is Kevin Harlan. We've got Chris Webber and Greg Anthony with us. And from the sideline, we'll be hearing from David Aldridge. Last outing for Atlanta, unsuccessful. The loss to the Heat in Miami. That one was real close, too. They lost by just 2 points.
Yeah, nowhere near at their best throughout the course of that game. A scrappy performance, but in the end, just not enough.
Yeah, it just wasn't their night. They missed some shots they typically make. Never really got over that hump.
And in these early stages, Chris, of the season, how quickly do you start to get a sense of where your team stands and how good they can be or how bad they might be?
I would say that first 20 games is a really good kind of litmus test. It gives you a pretty good gauge to see where your team is. You're going to get to play against teams from both conferences. You have some really good teams and bad teams in that mix. So you kind of see how you play in all situations. Those first 20 games, you establish who you are.
A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Schroeder and Bellinelli team up in the backcourt. Ilyasova out there with Dwayne Dedmon, and it's Prince in at the 3. Shot clock at 5. Bean passes to Mirotic. Over to the wing. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Tries again, and Levine, here we go, and they'll keep possession. Back to Holiday. And another shot. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
And so it begins, taking control right up front.
Well, I like the effort. It always feels good to get on the board first.
And Chris, you played during an era against a team that many consider the greatest of all time, that '96 Chicago Bulls team with Jordan and Pippen and a great roster. Just thinking back to that team during that second three-peat, what was it like when you were going up against that Bulls team?
So tough to play against that team. Jordan, arguably the best player that's ever laced them up, and Pippen was so tough offensively and rebounding. Rodman as well on the boards, and then you had guys in a system that was just really too much. It's hard to say. Of course, in my opinion, having played against them, they're the best team of all time. But Bill Russell once told me, ghosts can't play, so don't get caught up in comparing eras that you really can't prove it. So, yeah, of course, they're the best of all time to me, but it's fun watching these young kids play today.
And he's able to get it back. Mirotic's shot is off.
He had plenty of space to square up and take that easy shot, but I don't understand why he faded away there.
Schroeder kicks to Bellinelli, and Zach LaVine gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Bulls on D. Schroeder up top. He's covered by Grant. And that one's good. Schroeder. Here's Grant. Just about 2 minutes into the game, first quarter of basketball. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
I had a chance to catch up with Mike Budenholzer. It's the first matchup of the season against this team, and he knows that they have great shot blocking. But he did say we've got to remain aggressive and continue to attack. Put the bigs in high pick-and-roll situations, shoot the jumper with confidence. They feel that's the key, Kevin.
David thinks sounds like he's prepped his guys on how to handle this opposing defense.
And no surprise there, because they're facing a team that can win games with its defense. They are an aggressive bunch from the start.
Well, look, you can play with pace, you can play with speed, and still be patient. And that's what this team is going to have to do against this aggressive D. They can't force things. They've got to play smart and in control. They may have missed it, but that's a clean look at the basket.
Levine kicks to Lopez. And Lopez throws it down.
At 7 feet tall, Lopez makes dunking look easy. Once he's close to the bucket, forget about it.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Here's Schroeder. He's coming off a 22-point game against the Heat in Miami.
Yeah, but it wasn't all about himself. He also did a great job at creating for his teammates. So many assists tonight.
Ilyasova gets the bucket.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, that opening right there, that's just because the defense failed to rotate.
Right wing. Lopez a screen. Holiday dishes to Mirotic. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Mirotic has got himself on the board with 3 there.
And this is what Mirotic does best. A knockdown 3-ball specialist. Doesn't hesitate in pulling the trigger.
Schroeder outside. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. And Dennis Schroeder out of Germany handed the keys as the full-time starter at the point guard in his 4th season.
And with his confidence and competitive spirit, you know, he was chomping at the bit for that opportunity. And you got to love his athleticism coupled with that big play capability. It's just exciting to see how good this young man can become.
And the Hawks known for their equal opportunity drive and kick offensive style. But Greg, their 3-point shooting percentage has cratered the last few seasons.
Yeah, and the way the league is going, that's something they'll have to fix. The free throw line, also an issue for this group. It's clear they're in search of more shooting.
And there's the foul. It goes on Ilyasova. That's foul number 2 for him. Atlanta making a switch here. Muscala's checked in. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. And here's Schroeder. And Muscala has it in the corner. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. Chicago leading. Grant the pass to Lopez to the right side. And Mirotic kicks to Holiday. Mirotic sets the screen for Holiday. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. So it's Chicago now. Clock at 4. Here's Lopez. Goes back up. And he sinks the layup. Lopez has got 5 points so far.
Oh, well, Lopez is terrific on the offensive glass. I love seeing him use his long arms to haul in the boards.
The Hawks working the ball around. Atlanta again missing. Chicago leading by 4. Out of bounds. Atlanta will take possession.
And a moment now to look at the stats for Schroeder. Good season for him last year. Last season, he averaged 18 points a game, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds. and he's been putting up points with regularity. I mean, that's what they depend on, his killer instinct on offense.
Yeah, anytime this club needs a basket, he's their go-to guy. Just an irrepressible, prolific scorer.
Muscala gets the bucket. The Bulls shooting 36% in this first quarter, trying to get their bearings. Over to the left wing. Here's Levine. Atlanta with the rebound.
That type of defense doesn't always get it done, but it does the job at times.
That puts them in the lead. Bellinelli's got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. And here are the Bulls now, following the three by Atlanta. Mirotic dishes to Grant. Mirotic sets the screen for Grant. And there's the rebound by Dedmon.
And on the glass so far, it hadn't even been close.
Here's Bellinelli, drops in the layup for two. Bellinelli's got his second bucket of the night.
Yeah, and Bellinelli, very creative, has that ability to get into the heart of the defense.
Lopez inside to end the run. Dedmon with the block. Schroeder outside with some arc, and the rebound goes to Lopez.
A frustrating start to this quarter.
Levine for three. He can't hit that time.
Everything he is throwing up has been off. He needs to find his groove, and soon.
Kicks it out to Prince. There's the screen. Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call. And where the shot's been coming from tonight, here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for the Bulls.
You know, I like the strategy here, focusing on the high percentage looks, taking the majority of their shots inside, but their field goal percentage in the paint thus far hasn't been good.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. And this matchup with the Hawks, it's their first meeting of the season.
The game is the first of a 3-game season series for these clubs, both looking to take round one.
Yeah, and they play in the same conference. Not a rivalry per se, but familiar enough to cause some tricky problems for one another.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Bobby Portis is checked in for Lopez. Markkanen comes in for Mirotic. Paul Zipser, he's checked in for Justin Holiday. And it's Valentine in for Jaren Grant. Here's Levine after the made shot from Dennis Schroeder. Valentine kicks to Levine. Markkanen in the corner. Their offense stone cold. Another miss there.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
Delaney no good. Bulls trail by 5. Levine kicks to Valentine. Here's Markkanen. Here's Portis. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time. Portis has got his first points in this one. Schroeder kicks to Muscala. There's the pass to Schroeder. And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
The Hawks shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game.
Numbers last year for them, just about 73%, so the bottom 1/3 of the league.
Well, we know that some players can get pretty tricky out on the court, and that is the diplomatic way of saying it, Chris. Which players do you feel kind of take advantage sometimes of the rules?
Well, and I think, you know, these are the guys that you would hate to play against, but you want to play with. And, you know, first people that come to mind are the Draymond Greens, the Matt Barnes, Steven Adams, just because he's physical. Even Chris Paul, the way that he stays on the refs, the way that if you reach on him while he's trying to steal the ball, he'll grab your wrist and let you know, don't do that again, because it really hurts what he's doing to you. So there's so many players that do that, and the wiser, the smarter, the longer in the game that you play, the more of those tricks you'll be able to pull out, all those veteran tricks. So those guys come to mind.
Luke Babbitt, he's checked in for Dennis Schroeder. Out to the right wing. Now the Hawks moving it the other way. In the corner, it's Delaney. And Muscala kicks it to Bazemore. Got a piece of it. 1:35 left in the first quarter. Levine, good.
It took him a while, but he finally gets one to fall.
1:27 left to play in the first quarter. Delaney kicks to Muscala. Hawks passing it around. Delaney, no good. Last outing for the Bulls, it was a loss to the Cavaliers in Cleveland.
No other way to put it. The defense was awful, completely uninspired at that end of the floor.
Well, they had a hard time forcing turnovers, and then on the other end, made quite a number of mistakes themselves.
Zipser kicks to Markkanen. No good on the triple. Here's Atlanta. They're on a 17-7 run. Delaney, the pass to Muscala. There's a good screen. Here's Collins. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range. And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. And I don't mean style points. Here's Collins. Shoots over Markkanen. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Collins has got his second bucket of the night.
Artful use of the screen there. Gains the separation he needs for a good look.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Bulls shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
And as a team, excellent. A season ago, about 80% when they got to the line.
Free throw good, Levine. And he makes both free throws.
Well, he's not making any mistakes up there today. Another solid trip to the line for him.
Here's Delaney. Bazemore on the wing. And it's off from three-point range. A big-time effort for Dennis Schroeder, providing a lot of energy for Atlanta. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. And we'll be right back after this. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And for the Hawks. Grant with the ball. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. And now brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the court for Atlanta, Collins is out there with Ilyasova. Then there's Kent Bazemore. Then it's Luke Babbitt, and it's Delaney in at the 1 spot. Collins kicks to Delaney. It's deflected.
And how about Markkanen using his size and reach on defense? Great timing in terms of being able to get up and block shots.
Out of bounds. It'll go to the Hawks.
And here's a look at some stats for Bazemore. Last season's performance for him. Averaged about 11 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And you know, he'd love a bigger role, but he's trying to prove himself in the minutes he's getting right now.
Yeah, you're right, but he's putting in the work, and the results have been okay. He just needs to keep believing in himself.
Shrugs off the contact and dunks it. He'll go to the free throw line.
And double teaming him is the only thing that's going to cool him off at this point. He is on a roll.
The Bulls have been very active in revamping this roster. A lot of trades and player movement. They were worried of becoming a treadmill team.
With some lackluster finishes to their season the last couple of years, that worry of finishing poorly isn't going away for Bulls fans. But luckily, the Bulls have a history, Chris, of shaking things up.
It's never easy to make that choice. The front office has been proactive in shaking things up. Not easy, but they are committed to change right now.
The Hawks leading by 7. Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Now here's Ilyasova. Tight defense on him. The turnaround jumper. Count it. Ilyasova's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Well-coordinated shot mechanics, especially for a guy with his length.
Oh, come on. He's fluid from that medium range. He gets everything working together.
Here's Grant. Here's Here's Portis, and he makes good on the layup. Portis has got 4 points now in the quarter.
And look at that. That's just a great all-around play. Getting into position for the offensive rebound, finishing strong on the putback.
Collins, good.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Grant kicks to Markkanen. Pass to Zipser. Lets it go from deep. Count it, and the Atlanta lead has been cut down to 6 on the bucket for Markkanen.
And I tell you what, Markkanen has already mastered the art of the bank shot. Loves getting it up there and knocking that one down. You have got to be in his space if you want to disrupt his rhythm.
Grant the pass to Zipser. Here's Portis. He's covered by Bazemore. Here's Delaney. Kicks to Collins. It's deflected, and they'll keep possession. They grab their own miss. Bazemore misses. Bulls have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. Here's Markkanen. The shot is good. It's his second bucket in 5 tries.
Hey, look, you got to keep Markkanen out of the paint. He's just too big on that block and imposes his will.
Delaney kicks to Babbitt. Pass to Collins. The dish to Bazemore. Hands it from downtown. Bazemore's got 6 points.
No doubt that was a defensive mistake. You got to have a guy on him at all times.
Grant outside. Screen by Grant. Pondexter dishes to Grant. Shot clock at 6. Fires from deep. Pondexter no good. Atlanta leading by 7.
He just recorded his 3rd foul of the half. Coach has to consider resting him until the 3rd quarter.
So for the Bulls, Robin Lopez is checked in for Portis, and Justin Holiday subbed in for Paul Zipser. And the Hawks making a change here as well. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Kent Bazemore. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Taken away by Holiday. And stolen by Ilyasova. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. Bellinelli's got the ball. Good D by Holiday. Pass to Pondexter. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Delaney, the pass to Ilyasova. And Bellinelli kicks to Delaney. Markkanen on the double team. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Ilyasova is screen on Holiday. Clock at 6. Puts it up from 12, and there it is for him. He has 7.
Oh, man, it's great to see Bellinelli working that mid-range jumper. Defenses have to be more wary of him from there, given his sweet stroke.
You talk about a hired gun, and that's Marco Bellinelli, the Summer League legend, is hopped around, Chris, from team to team his whole career, it seems. But whenever he is on, he provides great shooting for whoever he's playing for.
Yeah, he opens up space and gives a scoring option off the bench. For his career, he has a great 3-point shooting percentage, and teams know exactly what they're getting with Bellinelli.
Holiday dishes to Markkanen. He feeds it to Grant. He kicks to Pondexter. And Holiday has it in the corner. Lopez sets a screen for Holiday. And it's blocked. They recover it. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
So for the Bulls, Mirotic is checked in for Markkanen. Denzel Valentine comes in for Quincy Pondexter. And Zach LaVine subbed in for Grant. Then for the Hawks, Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Collins. Torian Prince comes in for Luke Babbitt. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Malcolm Delaney. At the teardrop, and it's finished off inside by Schroeder. Schroeder's got 11.
Oh, the floater's a tough shot, even when you're that close to the bucket.
Bean passes to Valentine. Outside Holiday. In the corner, it's LaVine. Lopez sets a screen for LaVine. Goes back up. It's good. And the Hawks lead is cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Lopez.
He just needs some time to warm up. After a difficult first period, he has turned on the Jets in the second quarter.
And Bellinelli kicks it over to Schroeder. They set the screen. Down low. Deflects the pass. Lopez with the steal. Holiday inside the line. The rebound by Prince.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Ahead, here's Mirotic. No good on the shot, and it's the Hawks taking it the other way. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. They get it back, and it's blocked by Mirotic. Here's Holiday. On the play, basket counts, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
And Chris, the team you spent the most time with in your career, the Sacramento Kings, what was it like playing in a smaller market? And do you think that's changed for star players today?
You know, I love playing for the city of Sacramento and the fans. Because we were a small market, I think we had some of the most passionate fans that I've ever seen in the NBA. But it was also tough, especially playing on the West Coast. You're the second or the late game. On the East Coast, many people don't see you. You don't have necessarily the support of everyone else because you're not in the larger city. So it definitely could be tough. But when you're playing a team like the Lakers or you're playing other Goliaths, you love it and you embrace that small David-type aspect. And so I do think it's changed because of social media. I do think it's changed because of the internet and specifically the apps that you can now go into the locker room before and after the game. You can get a guy's thoughts right after he made a big shot or missed a big shot. And so I think if people had those tools, maybe it'll be different. But I think now definitely it really doesn't matter what market you play in. I mean, we were a small market at that time, but look, since it's been the OKCs and other teams that kind of have made everybody excited about basketball. So I don't think market plays that big of a part as far as your exposure and how much fans get to see you anymore.
Good overview. First free throw is good.
And the Hawks in the last couple seasons with some roster turnover, established veterans departing, and now with Millsap leaving, they have embraced a complete rebuild.
And the Hawks traded Howard and lost Paul Millsap in short time. So the rebuild, it would appear, is on for Atlanta.
And it seems like they feel good with how they've approached it. You know, you got to commit to turning things over and starting anew. And the Hawks have taken the first steps to building towards the future.
Schroeder dishes to Dedmon. Prince kicks to Dedmon, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
This is his second trip to the line in this one. And the first one drops.
Well, the big story from the Bulls last offseason was trading Jimmy Butler. It had to be. He had strife with the front office, problems with players. Both sides seem to want to move on.
So he gets them both. Chris, as you said, the strength of this Bulls team last season came from Wade and Butler. And speaking of Wade, what better a player to act as a mentor for this team than Dwayne Wade?
Well, it's hard to get fair value for a guy like Butler. It was clear that Chicago needed to mix things up. Now, LaVine, I really like his game. He can really help this team. And they, you know, marketing, that's decent.
Here's LaVine. Can't hit from in close.
It's clear this just isn't his night. I mean, if they're going to keep him on the floor, I think his best role would be to be a decoy.
Here's Prince. Buries it down low. 1:21 left here in the second. Bulls trail by 7. LaVine kicks to Lopez. And the dunk by Lopez.
Look, Lopez is on a roll. He's a high percentage shooter who really concentrates on taking high quality shots.
1:10 left in the first half of the game. Schroeder against LaVine. Out to the wing. Here's Muscala. Misses the 3.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Here's Valentine. fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
And if there's one thing the Hawks have hung their hats on, it's been their defense.
Very disciplined across the board. They take charges, they protect the paint, they do a great job with their communication. And even though they get their share of blocks and steals, I think they do a great job of avoiding those cheap fouls.
Chicago making a switch here. Portis is checked in.
And when Mirotic first came over to the NBA, he made a big splash, showed that he can act as that stretch four and contribute. Unfortunately, he just hasn't evolved as a player since that rookie year.
Chicago trailing here. Outside, Levine. The pass to Portis. Jacks up a three. Rebound by the Hawks. Dedmon's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Prince, the pass to Schroeder. Kicks it out to Prince. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Prince has got 7 points here in this quarter.
Smart decision to kick the ball out as the defense collapses inside.
They set the pick. Levine for 3. Here's Portis. No good on the buzzer beater. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Hawks lead by 5. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Mike Budenholzer. Your defense has been very good. Why has that happened?
Well, I think our guys are committed on that end. Everybody's active. Everybody's covering for each other. And we know how important it is.
Mike, we'll see you.
Thank you, David. And we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. This big mountain of a man is Shaquille O'Neal, and this hill of a man is Kenny the Jet Smith. After 2 quarters, it's Atlanta out in front. They have a 5-point lead. Kenny?
They were simply the better team on the offensive end. Every time the defense made an adjustment, they would make an adjustment on offense. Winning that little cat and mouse game, they'll be difficult to beat.
And Shaq, what'd you think about Chicago?
Their three-point shooting in the first half was atrocious. Ugh, ugly, awful, nasty. It's not that they're just missing shots. It's like they just keep taking the shots. Hold on, Ernie. Hey, you! Whatever your number is, stop shooting the three. See, Ernie, that's all the coach got to do. Tell them stop shooting the three. Pass, cut, work together, do something.
And that will conclude.
Welcome back to the hustle and bustle of Chicago, a time-lapse view of all the traffic heading toward downtown. The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. We've seen Robin Lopez really having a great game.
Yeah, and the fact he's posted a double-double with about half the game left.
Bulls trail by 5. Mirotic at the power forward with Lopez in the middle. Levine is out there with Grant. And it's Holiday in at the 3. And that's the group for Fred Hoiberg as we begin the second half.
Well, there's no quitting Lopez, even when he's getting hammered. He finishes with this soft touch.
And Chris, you had to deal with different injuries during your playing career. Some guys get bit by the injury bug and some others avoid it their whole career. Do you think that staying healthy, Chris, is a skill or is it just luck of the draw?
Man, that's a great question, Kevin. I really can't answer that when you look at a guy like Jordan and seeing him only hurt his ankle one time.
Right.
You know, I do think when you take care of your body and you prepare that you can definitely stave off injuries. But at the same time, I think it's the luck of the draw. If you're a guy like myself and you're rebounding in the paint and there are a lot of feet under you, you're going to come down on someone's ankle and twist your ankle. we've seen a lot of non-physical injuries, a lot of injuries that just seem to happen out of nowhere. When you look at George's injury with the Olympics that time, or you look at a guy like Steph Curry with his ankle injuries that he had back in the day. So I really can't answer that. That's a great question. It's like what comes first, the chicken or the egg? But I would just say this, no matter how hard you work, it takes a little bit of luck to be successful. I think we always say that. So I would lean on more so the side of luck than necessarily being prepared and not having an injury.
Good answer. And both free throws good for Prince. The Bulls trail by 4. Grant dishes to Lopez. And now the fast break. Schroeder with the ball. Second shot opportunity. Shots good by Dedmon. Dedmon's got 6 points.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
I tell you what, it's like football, having a 3rd and 13 and them running up the gut. It just frustrates the defense. You have to hate giving up second chance points. It's demoralizing. After basically, I mean, you had to stop.
Ilyasova hits the bucket.
Love the assist. I mean, he knew exactly where that bounce pass had to be to create that opportunity.
Levine kicks to Mirotic. And again, no good by Chicago.
Having a little bit of trouble at the start of the half. Only 1 for 4 from the field.
Bellinelli for 3. Mirotic grabs the miss. Mirotic has got his 3rd rebound on the night. Lopez a screen. And Levine, here we go, lays it up off the glass. He has 7.
Well, no matter what, he's always going to be one of the most dangerous men on the court.
Schroeder passes to Dedmon. Schroeder dishes to Prince. From deep, and the 3 ball is good. Prince has got the lead up to 9 now for the Hawks. Bulls have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the 3rd quarter. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Atlanta's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break, pushing their lead to double digits.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
That's just the aggressiveness of transition, making sure they come away with points.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
Yeah, you know, some of it's shot selection, some just bad luck, and they just can't get anything going.
Well, this is the dilemma as a coach. You wonder, do I need to call a timeout here? Do I need to settle these guys down? Should I let them play through it?
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Markkanen, he's checked in for Mirotic, and it's Paul Zipser in for Levine. Markkanen kicks to Lopez. Just 5 on the clock. Grant dishes to Lopez. Oh, and here comes Prince all alone. The fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
And how about the explosiveness he shows, going from the offensive to the defensive end in a blink.
Delaney, the pass to Dedmon. Delaney kicks to Prince. They set the pick. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. With a break in the action, let's show you the teams with the most second chance points last year. Number 1, the Bulls.
Yeah, that was a huge factor for them a season ago. Their ability to attack the offensive glass and then convert those into second chance buckets. I mean, no one did it better.
Well, when the Bulls hired Fred Hoiberg, they wanted him to revamp the offense. Hasn't exactly gone to plan as the Bulls have struggled on the offense under Hoiberg. However, the team has stayed competitive.
And with Hoiberg, he came in wanting to play a more perimeter shooting and up-tempo type of basketball. But the personnel, Chris, just hasn't been a good match.
And part of it is the front office getting players who can't really hurt you from deep. But Hoiberg's responsibility is to make the most of the talent on the roster. It hasn't been an easy path for him with this team's talent.
Just over 3.5 minutes through the 3rd quarter of play now. Here's Collins. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And here is the shot chart as we see how things are going for Lopez.
Well, you have to think that he is going to look to go to the rim a little more often going forward because the three ball just hasn't been there. Sometimes it seems he's not getting his feet set or rushing his shooting motion, but either way, it just ain't falling.
The NBA coaching ranks always looked at and scrutinized. Only 30 great jobs out there in the league, and yet they're on the firing line, it seems like, every season. Chris, what enables head coaches, in your opinion, to be successful? And has that changed over the years?
Well, I think what allows you to be successful, first of all, what is your acumen for the game? Can you communicate? Can you inspire players? Are you a humble guy? And, you know, I think those are the main things that you have to, you know, have as a coach. But look, players get traded all the time. Everybody's under pressure. So, you know, just got to do your best and keep it moving.
And that replay presented by Under Armour, showing us the fantastic steal that led to that fast break finish. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Pass to Zips, 5 to shoot. And Lopez throws it down.
And you got to like the vision for Markkanen. I mean, a big man who knows how to find the open man.
The Bulls have shot the ball pretty well from the line, going 8 of 11. The Hawks leading by 10. Delaney kicks to Collins. The Hawks working the ball around. The feed to Babbitt. Back to Delaney. 6 on the shot clock. Dishes to Ilyasova. To the right side. Delaney no good.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting anything to go.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know if he can just break through this cold streak, he can give you what you need.
Lopez. And the dunk by Lopez.
Incredible reverse throwdown. Excellent body control.
And guys, I'd even go as far to say that was a punctuation dunk. Delaney, the pass to Babbitt. He dishes it to Collins. In the corner, it's Bellinelli. They set the pick. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. Portis, he's checked in for the Bulls. Pondexter comes in for Justin Holiday. Then for the Hawks, Muscala, he's checked in for Ilyasova. And it's Kent Bazemore in for Bellinelli. Bulls trail by 10. Grant down low. Pass to Zipser. The 3. Rebounded by the Hawks. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Delaney kicks it to Bazemore. No good on the triple.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Nice shot by Portis. Portis has got 10.
Too many inches being given up in that matchup. I mean, he's got no chance of putting a stop to that layup.
Delaney kicks to Collins. Expanding his range. Buries the long-range jumper. And the Hawks lead by 11. The Bulls have gone a solid 6 of 11 when shooting here in the 3rd quarter. Markkanen kicks to Grant. Markkanen passes to Zipser. Feeds it to Markkanen. The dish to Grant. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
And Bazemore kicks to Delaney. Passes it to Babbitt. To the inside. It's rebounded by Portis. Portis has got 7 rebounds in the game.
As off the mark as he has been, they're a little lucky to be in front.
Got a piece of it. They set the pick. Grant the pass to Portis. Tries again. Goes up again. Rebounded by the Hawks. Muscala's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
His struggles this quarter continue. The D's done a good job.
Bazemore on the wing. Another 3 for Atlanta.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on Schroeder.
Bulls trail by 12. Grant kicks to Portis. Here's Zipser. No good that time. And Atlanta will go the other way with it. Here's Babbitt. Out to the wing. Fires from deep. Delaney no good. Markkanen passes to Zipser. Chalk up 2 there.
And he placed that pass out in front of him and let him just run into it in rhythm.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks. So for the Bulls, Mirotic is checked in for Markkanen. Denzel Valentine comes in for Paul Zipser. And Zach LaVine subbed in for Jaren Grant. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Schroeder's checked in. Mirotic dishes to Valentine. Collins grabs the miss. Collins has got 4 rebounds now tonight. And that one's good. Delaney's got 5 points now this quarter.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. Sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
Kick out to LaVine. In the corner, it's Pondexter. Here's Portis. He's covered by Muscala.
His head doesn't look in the game right now. He can't seem to connect on any shot he takes out there.
Delaney kicks to Collins. LaVine against Schroeder. Here's Muscala. It's rebounded by Portis. Bulls trail by 12. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Here's Valentine. Rebound by the Hawks.
A hand right in his face on the layup. Excellent defense that time in the paint.
And it's Schroeder missing.
Even that close to the bucket. That's a very tough finish in that kind of traffic.
Outside, LaVine. To the left side wing. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Fast break, the Hawks. Here's Schroeder. Finished off the break. Schroeder's got 13 points.
And I love the fact that he didn't try to take on the defense by himself. Great pass on the move.
LaVine for 3. No good on that one. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. It's Atlanta. They lead by 14. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the 4th quarter. Let's listen in on what Mike Budenholzer had to say to his team in the huddle.
Just relax. We're in good.
And we're rolling here again with the 4th quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. 4th quarter on the court for the Hawks. Prince and Muscala holding down the forward spots. Schroeder and Bazemore are in the backcourt, and it's Dedmon in at the 5 spot. Prince against Mirotic, off the pick. Chicago grabs the miss. Portis has got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. Kicks to Lopez. Back to LaVine. And Mirotic has it in the corner. That's good, and it's LaVine with the assist. LaVine's got assist number 5 here tonight.
A good look there, and he didn't waste it. His second 3 of the game.
Schroeder kicks it to Bazemore. 16 feet away, and that one off the back of the rim and in.
His in-between game, always a work in progress, but the D still can't just leave him all by himself right there.
Here's Prince. Second chance shot, and the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
Atlanta making some changes. Ilyasova comes in for Mike Muscala, and it's Bellinelli in for Kent Bazemore. And Levine, here we go. Dedmon with the block. The Hawks leading by 16. And Bellinelli kicks it over to Schroeder. Here's Dedmon. Lopez covering, and the call will be against Robin Lopez. That will be foul number 5 on him. Jaron Grant, he's checked in for Bobby Portis. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. There's a screen. Ilyasova passes to Bellinelli. Just 4 to shoot. That one falls. And that's a double-double for him now. 11 points and 12 rebounds. Grant kicks to Holiday. Inside, it's deflected. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
And Lopez is a long, wily guy. Remarkable at utilizing his size, especially inside, where he has the respect of the defense.
And he knocks down the first one. And he makes the first, but misses the second. Prince kicks to Dedmon. Grant against Schroeder. Ilyasova. The shot, no good. So the Bulls will take it the other way. Now, here's Grant. Here's Holiday. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Schroeder outside. To the wing on the left. Bellinelli dishes to Schroeder. Beyond the arc. Mirotic grabs the miss. Mirotic has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Grant kicks to Mirotic. Back to Grant. He feeds it to Mirotic. Shoots the 3. Drains the 3-pointer. Mirotic has got a pair of 3s here in the fourth quarter for the Bulls.
Oh, and that's his second 3-pointer this half. I mean, he's really cooking now.
Bulls trail by 14. Levine kicks to Holiday. To the left wing. Mirotic's shot is off.
His stroke has not been what they needed it to be, but looks like they're going to keep going to him.
Prince, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Yeah, easy call.
Shooting for Atlanta, Taurean Prince. At the line.
And he knocks down the first one.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
And both free throws good for Prince.
And just a better job of getting to the line here in the second half. Didn't get there once in the first.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
And when you take a look at that shot chart, the amount of misses lately, really unbelievable.
Man, this is a joke, right? I mean, there's been some glimpses of hope, but they've been few and far between.
Lopez a screen. Levine kicks to Lopez. Oh, and here comes Prince all alone.
Oh! Oh, that's an old-fashioned rim rattler.
Just a remarkable gem. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now. Lopez a screen. Here's Levine.
Oh, wow. Look out.
That's a beautiful jam.
And I don't know if there's anybody who can match Levine when it comes to the art of the dunk. He is a highlight reel waiting to happen.
Schroeder passes to Prince. Goes back up. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And you can see how this game is going. I mean, put a body on somebody.
Man, this is what happens when you get discouraged. Sometimes it just affects every part of your game.
Bulls trailed by 19. Grant in the post. He's guarded by Schroeder. Grant, that's good. Atlanta's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. And Bellinelli kicks it over to Schroeder. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Lopez. And so he's picked up his final foul, and he will sit for the rest of this game. Markkanen, he's checked in for Chicago.
At the line for the Hawks, Dennis Schroeder. At the line for 2.
First one falls for him. Schroeder hits them both. Bulls have gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field. Holiday dishes to Mirotic. Back to Holiday. He kicks it to Mirotic. Grant against Schroeder. Grant the pass to Mirotic. Misses in close.
Hard to tell if he's just lacking energy in the second half, but it does not look like he's himself out there.
The pass to Schroeder. The feed to Dedmon. Over Markkanen. That's tipped. Levine inside the three-point line. Shot goes down. Very quick possession right there. Atlanta leading by 17. Schroeder kicks to Bellinelli. To the paint. Here's Ilyasova. And Ilyasova throws it down.
Good movement there. And the lead pass was right where it needed to be.
Holiday dishes to Mirotic. And they will call over the back on the play.
And trying to be the first one to get his hands on the miss. Instead, he's called for over the back.
There's nothing malicious about that play. Just isn't in a good spot and can't recover.
The first one falls. While the league has begun a program to crunch the numbers and learn how to reduce player injuries, it's just getting started. But, Chris, exciting to think that we'd be able to cut down on that part of the game.
Oh, yeah. You're talking to a guy that suffered injuries most of my career. I'm glad that we have more information now as far as, looking on the bench. You have player tracking cameras, nutrition. You have more research and flexibility and strength. And so now it can all be measured. And as long as the players-doctor relationship is kept in privacy, I think it'll make a big difference.
One made three formed for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
They set the screen. Schroeder against Grant. Ilyasova is screen on Grant. Prince in the corner. From beyond the arc, the shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Schroeder's got 3 assists tonight. Chicago's gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. And Markkanen throws it down.
And how about the hops there by Markkanen? He knows not many guys can block that shot. Good at getting that deep post position.
Schroeder against Grant. Now Bellinelli. Chicago grabs the miss. Mirotic has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Off the left rim and out.
I'll give him that shot again. He'll probably hit it. That's a good look.
Prince kicks to Ilyasova. And some very quick points for him on that possession. Ilyasova's got 4 points this quarter.
Well, he's reason number 1 there in front. I mean, his shooting has been almost flawless.
Chicago calls timeout. Chris, if you were on the rules committee, what rule change would you like to see the NBA make going forward?
Kevin, there's not a rule I necessarily have changed, but I'd ask them to kind of reinterpret a couple of rules, and that goes with the flagrant foul. I often see so many plays that are just hard fouls called as flagrant fouls, and that can affect not only a player and later on whether it's a flagrant 2, but it can affect the game. It can affect the next game by how it's interpreted by a player being kicked out because of that. And so I just want to take the sensitivity or put the toughness back into that. So many flagrant fouls are called and they're not going at the head, or they're chopping down on the wrist, and I just like to see it get back to be interpreted as it was a little while ago, maybe 20, 25 years ago.
That's his 4th personal foul. Second team foul.
That free throw good from Markkanen.
And Markkanen is a perfect candidate for that stretch 4. Outstanding at pulling the trigger from deep and not afraid to go inside and bang with the other bigs.
The Hawks leading by 22. Schroeder kicks to Ilyasova. Ilyasova, a screen on Levine. Schroeder passes to Prince. Ilyasova dishes to Schroeder. 6 to shoot. There's a screen. Shoots over Grant. And it's Schroeder missing. The Bulls shooting 40% in the 4th. Grant kicks to Markkanen. Grant the pass to Levine. Markkanen sets the pick for Levine. Pass to Markkanen. It's Dedmon with the rebound. Atlanta's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the 4th. Nobody near Schroeder. Another 3 for Atlanta.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
Out left to the wing. Mirotic dishes to Markkanen, and stolen by Ilyasova. Prince kicks it over to Schroeder. 1:37 left in the 4th quarter of this one, and that one good. Schroeder's got 7 now in this quarter. Chicago's gone 2 of 5 on 3-point shots since the end of the 3rd quarter. Levine passes to Markkanen, and Markkanen throws it down.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Hawks.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And every win important, and this one will go down as win number 3.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Bobby Portis is checked in for Mirotic. Pondexter comes in for Justin Holiday. Valentine's checked in for Levine. And Kay Felder subbed in for Grant. There's 47 seconds left in the game.
Hey, guys, you got to ask, where was this effort when it mattered? The game's over now.
Oh, yeah, this is a nice run here, but too little too late. And deep down, I think they know it.
Taylor kicks to Plumlee. Taylor dishes to Plumlee. Back to Taylor. Baseline try. That one doesn't go. And Chicago will go the other way with the ball. Pass to Portis. In the corner, Valentine with it. Hits the 3-point bomb. Smooth sailing for Atlanta. Outside, Taylor.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
That's his first personal foul. At the line for the Hawks, Isaiah Taylor. At the line.
And he makes the first. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. 6 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Here's Felder. And the Bulls tack on 2 more. And so Atlanta takes this one by a big margin. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And that about wraps it up. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Chris Webber, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. So long.